upload this afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to upload this recording into the event afterwards. So if you wanted to watch back and cook along with it at a later stage, it will be in the event so you can watch it afterwards. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm very excited to have you all here. Look at all your gorgeous faces. I'm just going to slide it. Right, hello, hello. It's so lovely to have people here. Thank you. Hello. Okay, all right, so today we are doing the very decadent chocolate volcanoes. They are divine. I'm then going to show you how to do cauliflower rice, mill some cauliflower rice really, really quickly. And then we're going to do the, well, actually we'll put the volcanoes into the fridge. We'll do the cauliflower rice and I'll start the slow cook as well. And then I'll show you how to put the cauliflower at the end of it. Okay, alrighty. Now for those who, so the TM6 has inbuilt amazing slow cook functionality. It is incredible. For those with a TM5 and a TM31, I can show you a little bit of a hand trick how to actually slow cook with the machine to a point as well. Okay, alrighty. So what I've done, I actually searched up the recipes and I've added them and downloaded them to my week. So with the TM6 and the TM5, you actually get the cookie-doo connection. You can actually connect to the connect via Wi-Fi to the internet. You can download recipes straight to your machine. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to melt the butter. So one of the first steps in the chocolate volcanoes is actually with melted butter, you know, prepare your ramekin. So, but no one has milk just hanging around. So I'm going to show you how to manually just melt your butter really super, super quick. So grab some butter, something I prepared earlier. Okay, and in here, some spice this way. And I've got my scales, and I'm going to actually weigh in 30 grams. So I'm just going to pop in 30 grams, butter, 20 or 30 grams. Yeah, go. And any butter that we have left over, we'll actually use in our recipe, so that we're not going to waste it. Okay. Slide back. Okay, so on here, I want you to actually turn your temperature around to about 60, 65 degrees, okay? And we're going to turn on our time. Now, the Thermomix won't start to heat unless you actually have time set, which is a little safety feature, which I love. Okay, so we've just put our butter in. Okay. Pop the lid on, and I'm going to turn it on to speed 1.5, sorry. All right. That's just going to quickly, and you'll notice it actually really quickly comes up to heat. It's a super easy way of melting your butter. And then once that's done, I'm just going to pour it into the ramekins, and then actually, no, I'm just going to put that aside for a second. I'll put that aside, and I'll come back and do this in a second once we get our melted chocolate underway. It's such a naughty recipe. I love it. Okay, I made it. I did take it for a test drive, just to make sure that it was a really good recipe that everyone would enjoy. And my children were absolutely in love with it and were thrilled that I am doing it today as well. So I hope if you are making it along at home with me, I do hope you guys will love it. Now, it does ask for fresh raspberries. If they are just a little topping on the side, so they're not essential. But I do love raspberries, but they're not essential. So if you've got strawberries, or you don't have to, it does ask. The recipe does ask. Yeah. Awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour that out. How do that? A couple of little bits that haven't quite made it. Awesome. And we're going to set that aside. Now the recipe, once we get into the recipe, it does say to preheat your oven straight up as well. If you've got a relatively fast oven, we're actually going to just delay that start. I find that sometimes they not modern day ovens do seem to come up to heat quite quickly. If you do have an oven that is slow to heat, perhaps turn it on now. If you are cooking along at home, it's 200 degrees. Otherwise, just wait for a little sec. Okay, now it does say degrees at this point. I'm just going to wait and skip through. Okay, Fine. Okay. All right, so this is where we start the exciting stuff. Okay. All right. Now I'm actually cooking with Plaistow chocolate. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but we had a talk from this gorgeous girl who advised us all about couture chocolate and how important it is to have the best quality chocolate. And she obviously had the most beautiful French chocolate, and it's amazing. But someone asked a question about what's the best commercial chocolate that you can buy at the shops, Woolies and Coles. And she recommended either Plaistow, which you can buy in the baking section, or Old Gold, funnily enough. Yeah, good old Gold, been around forever and ever. Okay, so I'm just to save my fingers getting ready, I'm just cracking up inside the wrapping. Pop it in. Here we go. I think I do need it. Maybe I do need all of them. Yeah, yes I do. There we go. Leave it a little bit over, but that's yum. Okay. So I've just broken it up, so it's just sitting there like that. All right. So then what it's going to do, it's going to mill our chocolate for it just to break it up. So 5 seconds, it's going to go around to speed 8, and I'll show you. Okay. I should do a warning. I do apologize. Okay. All right. How good is that? You see that? How awesome is that? That's the milling. Isn't that amazing? Okay. All right. Go down the sides. Okay, now we're going to pop in our butter. Just because we haven't got enough goodness in there, we're going to add in 150 grams of butter. Yum, yum. Oh, I actually measured it earlier, so that's fine. I didn't tear it off. And next, all right. This is so naughty. All right, so now we add in sugar. Not a good one for those watching me. Now this is ridiculous. We're putting in 150 grams of brown sugar. So yes, not one for the faint-hearted. It actually, what the brown sugar does, it actually produces a really beautiful caramel flavour to the volcanic lava at the end of it. It's really delicious. Okay, and a pinch of salt, which I love. Just put in a little pinch of salt to add that little extra flavour. We're going to put the lid on. And next, okay, so now it's going to go for 4 minutes. It's going to heat it to 6 degrees just to melt it, and it's going to go around to speed. Awesome. So whilst we let that do its little magic, this is where I'm going to use, so I've just used a pastry brush, and I'm just going to dip it into our butter. Pour a little bit into each one. A little bit into each one. And all you want to do is just, you can use, if you've got some paper, use that as well. Just keep it a little bit cleaner on the hand. There we go. Just basting around the side, really. And then what we're going to do, we're going to use this butter. We're going to put in just a half teaspoon of cocoa around each one. Make sure I got it around all the sides. So just make sure you've coated all the sides as best as possible. Because what we're going to do now is just add in some cocoa. Awesome. So just half a teaspoon of cocoa into each one. Just add a little bit of cinnamon in each one. And then all you do, just give a little tap and turn it. Tap it and turn it and rest around the side. See how it's just attaching itself to the side? So you just want to take it, you want to have, but when we finish, you want to have 5 mil top. 5 mils from the top. Yes. If you were doing a dinner party, oh my goodness, this would be such an impressive, it's so easy, but it's such an impressive dessert. It looks spectacular when you dish it up as well. So we're going to whip some cream at the end before we finish as well. And we could serve it up with cream and raspberries. So you don't need much. Yeah. So you're just coating the all around things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. I meant to do that. Perfect timing. Okay. So now I can see people busily working away. Now, Isabel, are you cooking along with me? I can see you there. Oh, yay, hello. I'm so glad. Are you keeping up? I know I'm kind of jumped off. Yay, I can see, yay. Well done. I know I'm jumping around the place, so I do apologise. I went completely off tangent then. So you've done well. So thank you. And who else is cooking along? I'm just going to slide along. No. Yeah, so if you're cooking along with me, I'd love to see your little face. Well, just very quickly, you're very welcome. Okay. And Kim, oh, I can see Kim's there as well. Are you keeping up with me, Kim? Yay! Oh, thank you. Okay, well, you're doing very well because I have jumped around a little bit. Okay, so when you're finished, you should have 6 gorgeous little ramekins coated with some chocolate dusting at the end. Okay, now we say next. Okay, keep on measuring cup and serve. It's going to, oh, I'll show you. Oh, yum. Okay, I'm actually just going to scrape down the sides because see how all that divineness. I've just got a little lump there, so I'm just going to scrape that in. So just give your, give it a little, the sides are scraped down and scrape around the bottom. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but your spatula is shaped like that for a reason. It actually goes around. If you can imagine, this is the center with the blades, and that's the outside of your bowl. So you actually scrape around, and it will perfectly clean your bowl. So just pop it in and give it a good. And if you can aim for the back of the blunt side of the blade, that could just help preserve your spatula as well. But sometimes it's and it's covered in deliciousness. All right. Okay. Now, if you are cooking along. Actually, what I might do, I might cook these now. So what I'm going to do, for those who are cooking and do want to start to and cook them now with me, I want you to turn your ovens on to 200. If you wanted to save them for a little bit later tonight, like after dinner, then don't worry about it. But I'm going to pop my oven on to 200 degrees now. All right. And I'm going to pop those onto a tray. Where's my tray? While I do that, hang on 2 seconds. I'm just going to start this off.
Sophia, can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is it okay? Because I want to cook them for tomorrow morning. If I put them in the fridge, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you put them in, once we've done, if you pour them into their little ramekins and leave it, just put some cling film over the top, just to stop them from drying out in the fridge, and they'll be right to cook tomorrow. If you wanted to cook them now, yeah, probably wait till tomorrow actually, rather than cooking them again tomorrow. So I do everything and then put them in the fridge. Okay, so I've got the mine on a tray, so it's going to go straight into the fridge. But our next step, sorry, I'll just go back. Our next step, as we go, those cooking along, it's going to go for 2 minutes, and it wants us to add in 6 eggs and 2 egg yolks. So grab your eggs. Grab your eggs out. Get yourself ready. Okay. So once you're ready, okay, you turn this on to speed 4. Oh, I got my lid. Yes, yes. Go back. There we go. Turn on to speed 4. Take your measuring cup off. And you're just going to pop 6 eggs into the top. Oh, sorry, I want to explode it. Just do them one at a time, and you'll hear them mix in. And then 2 egg yolks. So I'm just going to separate mine. Taking out the egg yolk. One. And 2. Okay, so 6 eggs and 2 egg yolks, right? And keep your egg whites sparkling. So you can actually use your egg whites, and I actually use mine in a omelette, usually in the morning. Some crispy dry. Okay, then we can just check and see where we're going. 4 seconds. Ta-da. Okay. Next. Oh. This is, that's how, can you see our lava? It's amazing. Okay. So now it's asking for a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. If you don't have vanilla bean paste by chance, then yeah, absolutely you can use a vanilla essence, but vanilla bean paste if you just have it. There we go, just a teaspoon. Lovely last of my little vanilla bean paste. You can actually make your own vanilla bean paste in the Thermomix. I'm not sure if everyone's aware of that. It's actually, and it's a lot cheaper as well. Okay, oh, so. Yeah, so there's a recipe for how to make your own vanilla bean paste. Yeah, so 75 grams of flour. I always use baker's flour, to be honest. I use it in all my cooking, whenever it asks for plain flour. Go. Next. All right, it's going to mix it up for us. Okay, 20 seconds. I'm just going to, so literally it's just going to stir it all in for us. How's everyone going? So if anybody has got any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. I know there's a few of us online, but yeah, if you've got any questions, I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, as we go. And for those of you who haven't seen my segments beforehand, I will pre-warn you that at about 4 o'clock, maybe, I will have a one. So I'm just letting you know. And you are welcome to join me. Or a glass of water. See, I've got my water. But about 4 o'clock, I have my space. Okay. And that's one. I scraped down the sides. Oh my God. It's so bad. It's so good. I'm just going to show you. Just going to show you this. Look at that. You see that? Oh. It's so good. Okay. Done. And then just one final little blast. So scrape down the sides. And then give it one final mix. Just for 5 seconds. And then we're going to put them into our ramekins. Next. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to pop them into our ramekins. One little thing I'll point out, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but you know, you've got your everybody aware that you have 2 handles on your bowl. So this, when you're holding your bowl upright, you use this side of the handle. When you're pouring it, actually reposition your hand so you're holding the lower side. So when you're pouring in, you don't get that kind of like that. So when you're pouring out your when the gooey goodness, just hold your bowl down the bottom there, and it just makes it much easier to control what you're pouring in. All right. Oh, can everybody see that? Am I the only one getting very excited about this? maybe I am. Okay. Yum. Okay. So leave about 5 mil from the top. More about this one. Now, if you are gluten-free, you can absolutely, the only gluten part of this is the baker's flour that I popped in, is the plain flour. So you can absolutely use your self-raising gluten-free flour, and it will work just as well. So, or if you have guests coming that are gluten intolerant, so just check your chocolate, make sure the chocolate's all fine, but that's fine. And just check your other ingredients, but you'll be able to make these with gluten-free flour, self-raising flour. Just make sure it's self-raising flour. All right. Oh, so good. Now, just for, oh, yum, a little drink. Oh my God. Oh, it's like, for those playing along at home, it's like a, oh God, like not even a Malteser, no, it's not a Malteser, it's like a lint ball, a melted lint ball. So bad. Okay, All right, so now we're going to pop these. Now it says 20 minutes in the fridge, or I'm actually going to stick mine into the freezer to let them cool down a little bit. So you can do that. So if you've got room in either fridge or freezer, feel free. Because I'm doing them tomorrow, like Isabel's doing hers tomorrow morning, pop them into the fridge now, put some Glad wrap over the top and seal them, and you're done, and you're all set for tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, fridge or freezer. Cool down. All right. Now, the next step, okay, it does say clean and dry your bowl. Now, this is really naughty, but if you wanted to make this into adding your cream straight into here, you can actually whip your cream straight in there. Just be aware that we did use raw eggs. So for those who are concerned about the raw egg factor, feel free to wash your bowl. I'm actually just going to pour the cream in. I reckon all in, why not? So, yeah, so if you are concerned, because we did have raw eggs in this mixture and we haven't cooked it, feel free to wash your bowl. However, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so we're going to cool, that's fine. I'm going to jump forward on the recipe now. I'm going to jump forward to the part where it says insert your butterfly whisk. Okay, so I'll just show you, that's my bowl. I have got chocolatey goodness in there. Grab my butterfly whisk. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my butterfly whisk. Oh, there it is. In the drawer. Okay. Now, when you're using your butterfly whisk, my glasses on so I can see. Okay. When you're using your butterfly whisk, okay, so for those who don't know, so your butterfly whisk actually goes in on the blunt side of the blade. Sorry, did I miss a question? I missed a question, didn't I? Okay. It goes on the blunt side of your blade. So pop the butterfly in, so it goes on the blunt side of the high blade. Okay. I'm going to put my butterfly whisk in. There we go. And I'm going to add in my cream. Now this is a whipping cream in your Thermomix is fantastic, but you do need to watch it like, okay. So I'm going to add in my cream. So I'm putting in 400 grams of cream. I'm actually just going to do about 150. The reason for that is I do have 2 people in the household who are lactose intolerant. And as much as they love it, I am going to avoid temptation for them as much as possible. So I'm just putting in 100, 155. Okay. Next. So, but yeah, 400 if you're following along the recipe, 400. Okay. Now it's going to go for 45 seconds. Keep your measuring cup off so that you can watch it from the top. Okay, and I'm going to turn it with the butterfly whisk. It's maximum speed 4. This particular one only takes it actually to speed 3. All right. So what you want to do is watch it, and you'll actually hear it. So you'll hear it, the liquid moving around inside, and then suddenly it'll start to solidify, and you won't hear that the stopping noise as such. Okay. And what you're looking for is some soft peaks in the cream. And as soon as that happens, you can hit your off button. I think mine should be pretty good. So that's looking pretty good. And you'll see it start. Oh, that's nearly perfect. Right, I'll show you what mine looks like. I might even do it a little bit longer, but I'll show you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Can you see mine? All right. I'll show you around. So just watch it, because if you're doing larger quantities, it might be different timings as well. And also on the different machines, they might have different, slightly different timings as well. And depending on your cream, so I'm just using Buller thickened cream, but depending on the cream and the quantity of fat actually in your cream that you've chosen, it will vary the time to actually whip the cream. Okay.
Sophia,
Yes,
have you ever used lactose-free cream?
I have, and it didn't work.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. So I have two, as I said, I have two lactose-free people in the household, and I tried I've actually got the lactose-free cream in the fridge, and I tried it, and it just didn't. It obviously doesn't have the fat content in it to whip it. It just whipped around and ended up coming out liquid as well. So it doesn't hurt the cream. It just didn't whip it. So it's nice, light and frothy. But if you do have people who are lactose intolerant, they can absolutely use the lactose-free cream. They just won't have that fluffiness. They won't have that. They'll just have can you see that? Look at that. Okay. So when you're using the lactose-free cream, it'll just be pouring cream, which will be delicious as well. And because I left the chocolate in it, can you see the swirl? I've got a bit of a chocolate swirl happening. So good. All right. For those following along at home, at this point, this is where you want to wash your ball. So what I'm going to do is actually put a little pump of dishwashing liquid in it and fill it just so the water is covering the blades. And I'm going to bring it back and just coat the put on speed 10. All right. There we go. So if you can just see that, I've literally just covered the blades with a pump of liquid. Now, if you have a TM6, it does have the pre-clean function. But for those who don't, I'm just take your butterfly whisk out before you do this moment. Okay, and all I'm going to do is just actually hop out of the recipe and bring it around and literally just give it a quick blast. A really easy way to clean your bowl. So you jump out of your recipe, see how it bookmarks it for you, so you can actually jump straight back to where you were. Right. Back. I jumped forward, did I? Go on, do that. Did that, yeah. And I'll show you what it does. So it didn't get everything out, but it just actually gives you your bowl a really good clean, like a really quick clean. So it makes it so much easier to actually clean it when you actually do come to do it. All right. So for those following at home, we are done for that bit. So our ramekins will go in about 10 minutes. Put that in, and we'll put that in for 12 minutes. Okay, but for those that are just watching, okay, now we're going to do the cauliflower rice. I'm just going to rinse my bowl, and I'll come back and do cauliflower rice.
Sophia,
Yes.
have you ever cooked them and then frozen them?
No, I haven't actually, Cheryl. But I can't understand. Like, I couldn't see why you couldn't actually. You'd need to. Yeah, I reckon they would freeze really well. You would just need to give it a fairly good time to defrost, or you can maybe put it in the microwave. But yeah, I can't imagine why you wouldn't, because I think all those ingredients would freeze really well. So And then you could, if you were just one or two of you at home, then you could save them for naughtiness. Enjoy them at a better pace. That's a very good question. Thanks, Cheryl.
Sophie, I've got another question. If I don't want to do 6 ramekins but do less quantity, do I reduce the ring, or
did you want to do more ramekin, like less quantity and more, or you wanted to do less with more quantity?
like an example, to do instead of doing 6, I want to do 2.
Oh, nice, yum.
Just for 2.
But so they are super rich. You just say, like, I'm sure it would absolutely be possible. What were you thinking, to be like a cake, or you just wanted to have a really decadent indulgence for 2 people?
No, even just reduce even the quantity of chocolate or all the ingredients, and just adapt it to for 2.
Sorry. Absolutely can do. Absolutely can do. So just cut everything down by 1/3.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely do the same thing. Sorry, I thought you meant you just wanted to make 2 mega molds.
That would be too decadent.
Oh, that would be amazing. A little bit of drool. That would be amazing. No, I think you would be super sick. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, so for those who are cooking along at home, you are welcome to do this, or I'm going to do this if you want to just prep your space and tidy up while I do this. Otherwise, you're welcome to watch. What I'm going to do is just going to show you the cauliflower rice and how I make it. I'm actually going to do this in a couple of batches. They literally take 7 seconds to mill, and then we'll tip it out. It's super, super quick. Now, I do 7 seconds, but you may like to do it for 9 seconds. Now, I know 2 seconds doesn't sound very much, but it really does. And the longer you go, it will mill further and further. But I tend to do 7 seconds on this one. All right, I'm going to get my varoma ready because I'm going to pour it into the varoma once it's done. So I'll just pop that over there. Now, those who haven't joined before, just letting you know, if you've enjoyed today and you found it useful, you are so welcome to invite friends to join us. And what that also does is you will earn host rewards, which is such an awesome way. I'm all about sharing the love. So you will earn host rewards for inviting a couple of guests. If you've got a couple of friends who are interested in seeing the Thermomix, the TM6 in action, and you don't want to worry about hosting them in your own home, for example, really welcome to invite them along to the cook along. Just let me know beforehand so I can keep an eye out for their names, and then you qualify for host rewards. So one of the host rewards, so you get the thermo servers. I don't know if everybody's seen these. These are the thermo servers. They are phenomenal. They actually keep your food hot and cold for up to 2 hours when you prep them properly. So yeah, you just have to prime the metal on those just for about a minute to boiling water, and then tip out the boiling water, and it'll keep your food hot and cold or hot for a couple of hours, and ice will keep it cold for a couple of hours. So they're awesome. They're a host reward, as well as the Thermomats as well. So these guys are awesome for baking. So if you like making dough at all, Thermomat is absolutely such it's such an awesome tool. It actually is made with it's silicon, but it's got fiberglass inside, and it actually keeps the heat of the dough inside, so it rises your dough about twice as fast. So it's awesome. That's a host. So yeah, so feel free to invite them along. I'd love to do anything. So it's just one person. If someone is keen to purchase a Thermomix, you just need to invite that one person. But if you've got people who are just curious to see the Thermomix, or they might own one and just want some hints and tips, invite them along. I'd love to have you all. More the merrier. Okay, so that's the end of me spruiking, so it's all right. Okay, All right, cauliflower rice. So with my cauliflower rice, I'm going to just activate my scales. I can swipe around to my functions, and these are the inbuilt scales. And I'm going to just pour in this particular batch. I'm going to do them in 2 batches without them going everywhere. So I'm going to do about 300 in each batch. Yeah. There we go. And turn that one off. Put it back. So with your cauliflower rice, it's blade reverse. Okay, so tap on the blade, your little function there, and it'll actually turn it to a spinning arrow. Okay, if you've got a TM5, it'll actually be below your screen as well. And I think with the TM31, there's actually a button. So it's just a reverse symbol. You'll see it like that, and that reverses the blades and send them back in the opposite direction. Okay, so it's blade reverse. Okay, and you want to go for, I want to go for about 7 seconds. There we go. And I'm going to turn it on to speed 5. Okay, so speed 5, and I'll show you. Did you hear it change just when it got to the 7-second mark? I just feel that it just needs that extra bit of time. How good is this? I'll just check this. Put my aroma. So I'm going to pop some of the pops here. Can you see that? Look, to me, just looks like rice. Now, if you wanted it to be slightly smaller, there we go. So I'll show you. If you wanted it to be slightly smaller, that's it. You could probably go for like 9 seconds maybe, and it might look a bit more like couscous. Okay. So I'll just scrape out the bowl. And when we do, whilst we do our beef cheeks, I'm actually just going to steam this cauliflower rice on top. So just clean the bowl. Don't have to be terribly pedantic about cleaning the bowl out. I'll set that aside for a second. Okay, and then I'm going to do the balance of my cauliflower. The reason I do it in a couple of batches is just when it's too much in the bowl, sometimes I find that it just takes a bit longer and it's not as successful. I like doing it in a couple of batches. Just to give you a bit of a helping hand. Oh, right side there. Okay. Put that on again. So again, 7 seconds. Oh, actually, I might do about 8. I think there's a bit more in this one. I'm going to do my blade reverse and around to speed 5 again. There we go. Awesome. I'm sorry if you've messaged me. I think I'm missing messages, but I will respond to any messages that I've missed after the session as well. As I said, I'm not technologically clever, so talking and looking at the little screen at the same time, it's not, I'm sure I miss messages, so I do apologise if I've missed your question or missed your message, and I will definitely respond after. Okay, all right. Here we go. Isn't that awesome? So good. So if you were watching your calories after eating our chocolate volcanoes, just having the cauliflower rice, I'm sure balances out the calories. Maybe more. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to set that aside. So now when you use your Varoma, I know it's probably one of the most underutilized bits of Thermomix equipment, unfortunately. I love my Varoma, I must admit. It really does expand your cooking amounts you have. So I've got 2 old teenagers who eat about 3 times as much as we do, and a 10-year-old. So I have 5 people in the house, and I just find by using the Varoma, it really does expand the capacity of what you can make with Thermomix as well. So, okay, so when you're using your Varoma, see how I've left a little circle in the center. Okay, that actually just allows the steam that comes up from the bowl through to your cauliflower. All right. The top one, I do the same with the top one. It's not as necessary because you do have the vents on the sides. But all right, so that's our cauliflower rice. I'm going to set that aside a little bit. Okay. Give our bowl a quick rinse, and we'll start our slow cooked beef cheek. Oh, actually, I'm just going to check our chocolate and put that in, and then I'm going to start on the slow cooked beef cheeks. No, I'm not. I'm going to actually start the slow cooked beef cheeks, and then we'll come back and do our chocolate ramekins, and then we'll finish up. Oh my goodness, we're flying today. Well, you know, what I might do, sorry, I'm just going to change my mind yet again. Just thought I might just pull out because, yeah, and I'll show you how to dish it up. Hopefully it'll be done. Let's do that. Okay. So if you are cooking along at home with me and you are ready to cook your ramekins, I'm going to put them into the oven. All right, let's do that. Grab them out. Okay. So here's our chocolate naughtiness. So pop it in the oven, 200 degrees for 12 minutes. Right. Set my time. Radio. Okay. So I've rinsed my bowl. Just going to rinse my spatula and lid. Radio. Okie dokie. So this is a divine recipe. This is actually a skinny mixer recipe. I'm not sure if you guys have, I'm sure most of you have found skinny mixers. If you haven't, it's a group on Facebook called Skinny Mixers, and Nicolene's amazing. Has an awesome group of customers, Thermomix owners that follow her along and also have great recipe suggestions as well. So yeah, if you haven't, just check her out. She's got a great, and she has gorgeous recipes, and she's actually got, most of them are offline, but she does have a selection of recipes on Cookie Do, which is fantastic, and you can download them straight to your machine as well. So this particular one, let me bring it up. Okay, a Chinese 5-spice. So I'll bring over my my tray. There we go. Now this looks much healthier, doesn't it? Rightio. Okay, that looks much healthier. Recipe, a lot of ingredients. Okay. Now it does, in this particular recipe, it does, if I show you, when you are searching up a recipe on the 5 and the 6, there's a little arrow. So on the 5, it's actually down the bottom of your screen, the bottom left of your screen, mine is showing the bottom right, but down the bottom left there's a little up arrow, and in the TM6 is a down arrow, and you can actually see all the ingredient listings. And on this particular recipe, it actually asks for, what is it, Chinese, where are we? Chinese broccoli. Okay, so for those who don't have Chinese broccoli, you can substitute that with broccolini. Okay, so I'm using broccolini today. I'm going to be steaming that at the end. So I'm going to be steaming the cauliflower rice, and with about 20 minutes to go, I'll pop that on. And then with the broccolini, you only need about 5 minutes to steam the broccolini. That's for al dente. So if you like it a little bit better cooked, then you can pop it in probably about maybe 8 minutes beforehand, and just see how you go. All right. Now this recipe asks for a bird's eye chili. I've actually just got some chili. These are our homegrown chilies. So I'm going to pop these in instead. These are not nowhere near as hot as the bird's eye. So I'm just actually using 3 of our homegrown ones. And always remember to wash your hands after playing with chilies. I'm just going to wash my hands. I learned that the hard way, as I think most people have. Always wash your hands after playing with chili. Okay. Radio. We want to add in some garlic. So approximately 4 cloves. Anybody who knows me, you know, 4 cloves, surely that means sort of 6 or 8. So I just pop in a few there. So I've actually got 7 garlic cloves in there today. I'm not sure if anybody's seen, but I do have a peeling garlic video, and that's for a good reason. So I use a lot of garlic. So if you weren't aware, you can peel garlic with your Thermomix, and I've got a video on that, so have a quick look. Okay, so I do have ginger. So you don't need to, I've peeled mine because it was a little bit older, but you don't, if it's fresh ginger, you don't need to worry about peeling it. And then you just cut it into a couple of little sizes. You don't need to be terribly pedantic with your slicing because your Thermomix will do it. I know. So it's going to go 3 seconds, around to speed 9. Okay. And I'll just show you what it looks like. Oh, so good. Look at that. Yay! Okay. So, radio. I'm going to put in a brown onion. So with our brown onion, I have peeled it, but you literally just cut it into quarters. Pop that in. And see next. Pop our lid back on. Next, okay. Just going to give it a quick chop for 1 second. No, amazing. 1 second. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. That's 1 second of chopping. How awesome. Okay. And I don't know if anybody's actually made coleslaw before. I don't know if you've ever made coleslaw in your Thermomix. Oh my goodness, it's 6 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 times. And you have chopped up all that onion and cabbage and everything. Oh, it's divine. Literally 6 seconds. So if you need to make coleslaw ever, just use your Thermomix. It's amazing. All right. Thank you. Now, I saw some lovely people messaging me. I do apologise. I will get to your messages at the end of this. I'm not technologically savvy to actually work out how to respond to you at the moment, but I will respond to you as soon as I finish. Okay. So, 30 grams of milk. Awesome. How's everyone going? We all keeping up? Yeah? You okay, Isabel? Yeah? everyone good? Okay, without the measuring cup? All right, so it's going to go for 5 minutes. All right. Awesome. So one thing I love about the fact we have the screen on the Thermomix is that you can actually look at the recipe details. So when you have moments where it's going to be, it runs for 4 minutes or 5 minutes and you're waiting, you don't really have time to duck off and do job work. Well, you can, if you're wanting to get it pushed out. There's always an option. So on the TMC, there's a little dot at the top, and you can bring up recipe details. Same with TM5. And then you just push down, and it actually gives you step by step. And you can scroll through and go, oh, okay. So next, I'm going to be adding our beef cheeks. Okay, adding the soy sauce, our water, honey, Chinese spice, pepper, and then start the circle. And is that, okay? So what you need to do, obviously our beef cheek, we'll get that ready. We need water, so we need 250 grams of water, we need soy sauce. So what I love about it is that it allows you to get stuff all ready, and so you're not stop, wait, okay, now I have to go do this, wait, now I have to go do this. So you can actually get your stuff, ingredients ready for the next step. So I'm just going to grab some, I'm going to grab beef cheeks, then I get some water, I've got my soy sauce and my spice there and the honey. And we'll sort it. I'll grab a spoon with honey. So I love that it allows you to actually see what you've got coming. So there's no time wasted. This is my beef cheeks, my lovely butcher. I think it's an amazing job. My beef cheeks. They're gorgeous. Okay.
Sophia,
Yes.
have you ever used chili flakes?
What's that? Sorry?
Have you ever used chili flakes? Dried
Yes.
chili?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, I have many times. And sometimes I don't have, because, you know, really it's all beautiful food. And so, you know, if you don't have bird's eye chili, then you can just use it. So especially during COVID, that was one of the best lessons that I learnt during COVID was, you know what, just use what you've got in the cupboard. If you don't have, like if you don't have big chicks, but you've got beef stew, you've got, use that. Don't get too pedantic. Same with your chili. So if you've got dried chili in the cupboard, just use it. Don't rush out and grab special things, which is what I love. And I love that you can do that affecting any of your recipes as well. So yes, very good question. I hope everyone is safe during this time. So I feel that we're kind of whipping back into COVID. So I hope everyone is safe. So I love that having online, that we can all stay connected online as well. Yay, that's so good. It's going to save my sanity, I think. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to see what I've got now. I've got 3 minutes left on my chocolate. Looking amazing. Okay, and I think I've got all my ingredients ready. So for those with a TM5, yeah, I've got so I've got my beef cheek, soy sauce, water, honey, Chinese spice plus, pepper. Yeah, that's good. And then once it's done, we'll also need some corn flour at the end. Ooh, that's right here. Okay. So once this recipe is done, it's going to set off to go for 4 hours. Now, if you have not got 4 hours, I'm actually don't have 4 hours before dinner, so it's 4 o'clock now. It's nearly 1 time. it's nearly time to cook. So I don't have 4 hours before dinner. So we normally eat at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to let mine go for 3 hours. If you do have 4 hours, amazing, and it will taste really divine. One thing I will get you to be aware of is 20 minutes before the end of the slow cook. If you can set a timer so that you can remember to pop your aroma on top. The smell is amazing. You smell it. Oh, it is ready. So yes, we'll do that. We'll put our aroma on, and then we'll get our broccolini going, and we're all good. Okay. How's everyone going? Just checking. So thank you everyone for joining me. Amazing. Hello, Mitch. I just saw you pop up. Okay. Awesome. All right, 4 seconds. We go.
I think it's going to take me a month of Sundays to chop up this beef cheek.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay.
I'm going to be slow.
Can you show me what yours looks like? So is it, have they just given you a, okay, that's fine, just dice it. So what you want it to be, my beautiful butcher has diced it for me. So you just want it to kind of be in a, like a 1 inch size cube, if you can keep it like that. You see mine? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
But there's no race, love, no rush.
It's pretty hard to chop.
Yeah, it is quite a tough, which is why obviously it's perfect for doing this. Yeah. So and yeah, you might need a sharp knife as well. If the knife is not quite so sharp, it'll make it a bit more challenging as well. Okay. Rightio. Oh, so good. Go. Look at that. Now I've learned, even though it does the chopping of the onions for you, I've learned now not to stick my head over the top because it doesn't stop onion eye. I actually had a demonstration last night and just stuck my head over the top and got onion eye straight up. So you think I've learned that? All right, there we go. And
Sophie, for the lady that's having trouble cutting up the beef cheeks, perhaps if she puts the meat in the freezer for a little while and it makes it a little firmer. I've read that as a tip. So then it makes it easier to cut.
you do that. Perfect. Thank you. Whoever gave me that tip, that is awesome. Who gave me that tip? Who just gave us that tip? Someone jumped out. Thank you. That's an awesome idea. I think Kim's actually ducked off to do that right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's actually a really good one. If you're wanting to mince your meat as well, I don't know if anybody minces their meat, but if you mince your meat, if you freeze your meat before you pop it in, it'll, if it's firmer, then it will actually mince your meat beautifully. So if you wanted to make your own mince meat, just freeze it, yeah. So pop it in the freezer for about half an hour before you cut it and chop it in with your Thermomix, and it makes the most amazing mince as well. All right, so 50 grams. Now I'm actually using tamari sauce, which is a Japanese soy sauce. I just find the little bit less flavour, a little bit less salty. So I'm using that's my tamari. Okay, 250 grams of water. There we go. Oh, not quite right. Here I was thinking I was really clever. It was really funny. I used to have the TM5 and it wasn't until I got the TM6. So the TM5 goes up in 5 gram increments and the TM6 goes up in 1 gram increments. And it wasn't until I got the TM6 that I realized just how out I was with my measurements. But it's a very forgiving machine. So it doesn't matter if you go over. All right. So 30 grams of honey from our local, beautiful local honey man. I'm just going to put that in. You could use, if you were not wanting to put sugar into this recipe, you could absolutely use rice malt syrup as well. There we go. And next, okay, so there's our 5 spice. So just a teaspoon of the Chinese 5 spice. Have my teaspoon. Now I know Kim has a TM5. So have you got a TM5 or TM6? That's right. For those that are cooking along that have the TM5, I'll show you in a second how to turn yours on to slow cook this as well. Okay, a pinch of ground pepper. There we go. And so next, put our lid on. Oh, I feel like I'm easy. Okay, and off we go. So the TM6, all right, so with your TM6, all you do, automate sets it for you for 4 hours at 95 degrees and slow cook, okay? I'm going to just let that go and say, yeah, that's what I want to do. And all you do is turn the selector and off it goes, okay? I love it. My husband is a massive slow cooking fan. And he said every time he uses the TM6, he said, you know what, I'd actually buy a TM6 just for the slow cook function. So for those people who out there are looking for TM6, the slow cook function is amazing. Okay, So for those with the TM5, you can still try and replicate, definitely replicate what you can do. There is a limit of 99 minutes, I believe, on the TM5. But what you can do is, okay, so you've finished the recipe now, you can click out of the recipe and you can just come into, so set your time with 99 minutes, okay, I want you to turn your temperature to 95 degrees and then you want to go to speed 1, okay, and that's going to start your slow cook as well. All right, so that's those who want to do. So I've set that off, so off, it's done, it's dusted. Hooray, I'll put this over here and we'll come back to our little ramekins of naughtiness. Just going to show you what they look like. So good. Oh, yum. Okay. I hope it's not just me getting really super excited about this. They are really good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is what they look like. All right. So what you're going to want to do is, when you're ready to serve them up, is actually I found that some of them, my particular ramekins, need to use a knife to cut around the outside, very gently cut around the outside. And I grabbed a bowl. I'll show you if I can do this. So I'm going to move that there and grab one. Now they're going to be super hot. And then grab a knife. Can you see that? No, do this one. So then once it's done, you're going to want to tip it out into a bowl of some description or a plate. I find the bowl to be a little bit easier. No. So they come out really nicely. Which I'm going to move this. Okay, so this is our upside down ramekin, all right? Just wait. I'm going to grab a spoon. I'm going to grab a little bit of cream on the side. Serve this up. With some beautiful raspberries. Just pop them around. Then turn the raspberries. And then you're going to be able to see this gorgeousness. So when someone, let me grab a spoon. Okay, so this is what you will serve up to your beautiful guests, for example. So it looks amazing. They go, oh, that's beautiful. Okay, let me turn it around. It looks so good. It does look so good. Okay. Oh, can you see that? Oh, it's so naughty. Yay. So that's your chocolate lava. Oh my God, they are divine. And we will all go to Weight Watchers tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now, so that is the end. It is my wine time. We've finished our chocolate volcanoes. And Suzanne's comment, Suzanne just said my pudding sprung a leak. It did. Okay, we've got our Chinese beef cheeks on the go. So that's going to be done in about, for me, about 3 hours. Other people might go 4 hours. We've got our, so what I'm going to get you to do is, for those who have done the cauliflower rice. You literally, with 20 minutes to go, stick this on top. The steam from here will actually come up through and start to steam your broccoli, your cauliflower, add in your broccolini, okay, and you're done for dinner. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Look at you all. Yay. So yeah, if you've got any questions, please feel free to send me a message. I'm really happy to answer them. If you make it, if you are cooking along, I'd love to see your photos as well. Yeah, you share the love. And enjoy your evening. Yeah, thank you everybody. Feel free to unmute yourselves as well if you want to. Okay, thank you. See you guys. See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
See ya.
Thanks a lot.
Sophia,
Oh yes.
before you go, do you have a Facebook site? Do you have a Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's actually Sophia.Windsor, or it's just Sophia Windsor Thermomix Consultant. And I've also got a group called Our Foodie Adventures as well on Facebook.
Thank
yeah,
you.
so have a look for Sophia Windsor Thermomix Consultant, and I've got heaps of videos on there as well. So very welcome to send me a message as well.
I couldn't find you, so I'll try and find it. And one other thing, you know how Kim didn't slice it up? If you didn't want to cook it, you know how Kim didn't slice up her beef cheeks? If you wanted to keep them whole, because that's how I normally serve them, would you just pop it into a slow cooker and then just do all the sauce prep in, or, you know, the pre-prep in the thermo and then put it in the slow cooker?
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's a really great suggestion. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Just if you wanted to do the cauliflower rice, all you would need to do is put about 500 mils of water into the bowl and just put it onto aroma temp for about 20 minutes, and you would still steam your cauliflower and broccoli whilst in the bowl if you wanted to do that. But yeah,
perfect. That's a great tip. Thank you. I really enjoy attending your sessions. You're so enthusiastic and passionate about cooking. So I really love it. Thank you. Your smile is very contagious. So thank you.
No, my pleasure. I hope it helps.
All right. Cheers. Thank you. Have a great Arvo. Enjoy those volcanoes.
Yeah, I will. All right. See you guys. See you, everybody. See you. Bye.